So good morning, everyone. Welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. My name is Nick Bryant, and I'm here today with Sarah Gillmore from Just Good Company.
Hello.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Beautiful sunny day out there.
It's lovely, isn't it? Yes, for September. Amazing.
I know.
Sarah's company is called Just Good Company, and it's a company that's been set up for companionship and for people that have got key interests to get together. But if Sarah could perhaps, if you could tell us a bit how it all came about, because it's not just you, it's you and your partner, Emily.
That's right, Emily.
Tell us how it all started.
Yes, sure. So Emily and I were actually out one evening. It happened to be Valentine's night. We were out with a group of single girlfriends, and we were all sort of bemoaning the online dating scenario.
Yes.
A lot of people have been there and understand that. And just how we were saying that, it's a shame because often you meet a nice person and there's just no romantic spark. And we just think, we thought, it'd be so nice just to say to them, well, would you like to meet for lunch or go for a walk or whatever? But because it's a sort of romantic scenario, then obviously, if the other person's not interested in that, that's not going to go any further.
Yeah.
So we felt like there was a real space available to create a platform where it took away the pressure to date and actually just have companionship, and very much so on a one-off basis. So really no pressure to take it any further than that. So there's no need to sort of even follow up because in fact the messaging service which we have online comes to an end at an hour after the start time of the outing. Okay. So there's not going to be any, comeback unless you want to reconnect with that person. Yeah. And in fact, you don't even have to share your number therefore until, you feel comfortable doing so. Yeah. We felt that there was definitely a gap really in the market for this because there's, online meetups for groups, and dating sites have even seen that there is a need currently for more friendship-based situations. But the way they're doing it is in the same dating format. Right. So you're still scrolling through faces. You're getting very little information on the person. So we felt like there was a real opportunity here to turn that on its head and make it not about forming a group, even finding a friend, or definitely not a romantic partner, unless you wanted it to be that. Yeah. So any of those could be possible. Yeah. We just saw that there was a real shortfall out there. And the way we're doing it is we start with what someone's interested in. Okay. And then people can post their outing or event or activity on our online outings board, we call it. Okay. And then people can apply. And, in fact, they're not revealed. They don't have to reveal themselves until they're really interested in something on the board or they want to post something themselves.
That privacy part of it is really important, I would have thought, isn't it?
Yes.
As I said earlier, I was speaking to someone, and the word dating site can be a little bit off-putting as well. So it's good that you're attacking it from a different approach.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And and then therefore because of that, you could meet someone of any gender. Yes, yeah. That was my next question, actually.
Right, so obviously it's not gender specific, it's for men and women. And
exactly. And, you could be a guy just wanting to meet another guy down the pub for a drink at the end of a day's work. And that day's work might happen to have been in their home. Yeah. Because working from home now has increased. So therefore the office social life has reduced.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's definitely that, just going for a bike ride with someone to motivate you for exercise. And
I think there's some people that have a partner that may not be interested in the pastimes that they're into. So
exactly.
It doesn't matter if they go off with someone else who's interested in those.
Exactly. Yes, and I mean they could be the same gender as you, obviously, and so You know, I mean, I know people who, you know, desperately want to see a movie, but their partner isn't into that genre of movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe that would be a nice thing to do with a companion.
Yeah.
And there's always the opportunity to meet them first for a cup of coffee and a chat, just to sort of get to know them a bit.
Yes.
So, yeah, because I think, you know, a lot of people will feel potentially nervous about it. And I think the pandemic has sort of made that potentially worse. Because people have obviously been, well, stuck inside for a lot of the time, and even, you know, naturally introverted people have become even more, you know, less likely to want to go out.
Yeah.
So
it's not just for lonely people, it's for everyone, really, isn't it?
That's right.
Finding that sort of friendship circle. Yeah.
Although loneliness obviously has increased in the pandemic, or at least the awareness of it has.
Yes.
You know, I think it's the quote is like over 130 studies have been done on the effect of loneliness and how damaging it can be. And of course, it can affect your physical health.
Yes, yeah,
as well.
So, what about age groups? Because when you talk about that with loneliness, what goes in my head is old people sometimes. You know, that they're stuck in the home on their own. So, is it every age?
Yeah. In fact, another study was done where they found that lonely people, the older demographic, weren't actually the loneliest.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, the loneliest were young men.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, and which is actually, you know, quite tragic. But you know, they obviously the demographic of midlife, because you know people have gone through divorce, bereavement, potentially. Obviously, elderly people have gone through that too, and especially actually in those two scenarios, people aren't necessarily ready to start a new relationship. Certainly not a romantic one.
No.
So we offer that, you know, possibility of them being able to just meet someone for companionship.
Yeah.
And in fact, we are aware that currently on our website, people who signed up, the age range is actually 18 to 81.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, there's only a couple of 18-year-olds, but yeah. So, you know, that just shows how widespread it could be.
Yeah. And location-wise at the moment, it's southeast?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, simply because we feel like we need to focus on one location to really nail our database and get a good user experience. But having said that, we've also been aware that there are people who've signed up in Cornwall.
Is there? Okay.
Dorset, Oxfordshire, Bedfordshire.
Wow. Because that was going to be something I ask. If someone's a long way away, then it's obviously you've got the travelling involved.
This is it.
But I guess if people are in Cornwall, maybe they visit this area, or they know of someone in this area. Or,
well, that's the thing that, you know, they're allowed. I mean, that's part of it. They put their radius in, so how far they're willing to travel. But obviously, we're aware that right now, because it's so disparate, you know, where people are located on the website, that we need to get word out there to get more people signed up in each area. Because, I mean, we have high hopes of it going national.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And, you know, we see the potential there.
Yeah.
But we just need to get a good concentration in all areas. So currently our biggest concentration would be Tunbridge Wells and London. And lots of lovely women have signed up. We need more men on board.
Okay, all right. For all you men out there, get on the website.
Exactly. And I think, you know, there is a bit of a stigma attached potentially for men, you know, admitting that they're lonely as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, men also enjoy just the camaraderie of meeting someone down the park with no sort of pressure or intensity. And so that's something we are offering, you know, with the use of our website.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about pricing? Talk me through the pricing structure.
Well, currently at the moment it's free.
Okay.
Free use.
Okay. Right.
And that's simply because we are trying to grow our database and we're trying to get word out there. We're aware that people are in difficult situations financially. There are a lot of lonely people as well.
Yeah.
You know, people who've basically suffered from the pandemic in one way or another. So we felt like we wanted to encourage a lot of people to jump on board now, to use the site
Yeah.
And then we will, at a certain point, introduce subscriptions. We're going to have a 4-tier subscription level. And we'll be offering student and OAP discounts as well. But that will be when the time's right, that we feel that we have enough people to give a really, really good user experience in enough areas. So,
it's only going to be strong and work really well once there's a big customer base there, isn't there?
Yes.
And it's purely online at the moment. Will you ever take it offline, or will you do meetings out? I mean, or I don't know if you've thought about that.
We have thought about that. Actually, simply from the perspective of encouraging people to actually go out, get out, and meet a group of people. But I think because we've got we've got a big area. Tunbridge Wells, a lot of sign-ups and sign-ups in London. Finding a venue at this point with enough people who will be interested in doing that might be problematic. So it may be something we do. But then part of our sort of ethos is really about the beauty of one-to-one connection.
Yes.
Because meeting in a group, because that is available. There are, meetup groups and things. But we feel that, quality is really when you meet someone on their own. You get better conversation. Obviously that person's going to be like-minded, whereas if you meet in a group, you're not going to necessarily be surrounded by like-minded people.
I guess it goes against what you're trying to achieve, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
You want that one-to-one
thing.
Yes. And so how are you marketing it? It's social media, obviously things like this?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
this is a great opportunity, Nick. Thank you. But also, yes, we have Instagram, Facebook, justgoodcompany.jgc.
Okay.
And we're on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
And our website is justgoodcompany.co.uk.
Okay, excellent. So I'll put all those details on the bottom of this podcast and YouTube video, so people can go off and follow you and get involved. And you mentioned earlier it's not just you, obviously your co-founder Emily. So tell me a bit about Emily.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, Emily and I met years and years ago. I'd hate to say how many years ago, when we had very young children, and we just connected basically at some kiddies event. It was actually Squeals on Wheels in Tunbridge Wells. Sounds horrendous. We're two, mums. Yeah. I've got 2 boys. She's got 3.
Okay.
We just we're very different people actually, but that works.
Yes.
Really well. So we come at it from different angles. But we've got the same sort of values and the same way we see the world, which is obviously key.
Absolutely.
And I think that's helped us build our website. So we see, the appeal for all demographics.
Yeah.
She actually is a personal trainer.
Okay.
And there's really, does a lot of fitness classes and that sort of thing. Not sort of thing I'd be signing up for.
Well, like you said, I think when you've got a business with 2 people, they cannot be the same. They have to be different for it to work and flourish, because you have different strengths.
That's it. Yes.
Sarah, thank you very much for explaining it all to us.
Absolute pleasure.
I invite everyone to go to the website and sign up. It's free at the moment, so why wouldn't you? You never know what you can find and who you can meet.
Yeah. And actually, if people sign up before the end of this month, they can get 3 extra free months on top of the subscription when we come to launch subscriptions.
Right. Okay. So get on there now, people. Get on there now and sign up. So once again, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for joining me. It's lovely to meet you.
It's a pleasure. Lovely to meet you too.
If you like what we're doing, please subscribe to us. You can see this video on YouTube and on our podcast channel. And thank you very much. And we'll see you for another podcast soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.